everybody, it's Emily here. As you may know, I am the founder and creative director of Ecstatic Dance Aus Queensland, and this is the first opportunity actually in all the years that we've had amazing DJs, amazing Ecstatic Dance DJs and artists up here progressively. Kimber Jade from New Zealand has arrived, and yeah, I just wanted to take this quick opportunity to tune in and speak to her, considering both of us are, well, ecstatic dance DJs, female ecstatic dance DJs, and also, yeah, event curators, producers, so many things, and dancers, first and foremost, always. So yeah, just introducing Kimberly, and I just wanted to ask a few questions to her today. So I just wanted to ask firstly, what would you describe as the practice of ecstatic dance?
For me, it's very much about the wave and the journey and the categories within the wave. So it's very much a journey, and it's around releasing what's no longer serving us and being in our bodies and being able to move freely and move without restraint and be ourselves, be our unique selves, who we are here to be without any judgment. And that's what I love about ecstatic dance, is that, you know, nobody cares what you look like when you move, and that's very freeing for a lot of people. Because being able to just move how you want to move and be who you want to be is just really important and beautiful. So for me it's very much around music, obviously, and creating an experience that moves people.
Yay, yummy, all of that and above. Beautiful. How did you come to be an ecstatic dance DJ actually? Would love to know that.
It happened really beautifully and organically. I was a professional club DJ in Sydney for 10 years, and the lifestyle no longer suited me, so I moved back to New Zealand, moved to a little island, and hung up my turntables for a year because I knew I didn't want to play for wasted people anymore, but I didn't know what that looked like, because I knew that I still had to DJ and play music because it was in my blood, you know, it was what lit me up. And then I discovered 5 rhythms on the island. There was 5 women, and they were like, oh, we dance to this 5 rhythms, and they had this little tape deck and this play, and I danced along with them, and I thought, I could do this, I could DJ this. And I had no idea ecstatic dance existed, but I put together my own categories of the wave with the music that I had, and with my turntables I DJ'd my first ecstatic dance for about 3 people on Great Barrier Island. And then I discovered that there was conscious festivals in New Zealand, and I was like, wow, these things exist with no drugs or alcohol. And and then I found out about ecstatic dance, and then it just took off from there. Like I've toured, I've done, I just started playing at festivals, at the conscious festivals, and so I'd created it without even knowing it.
Yeah, beautiful. I really like that. I really like that, you know, you played your first ecstatic dance set with 3 people. The first dance that we actually, I ran here in Cairns was with I think 19 or 20 people, you know, and just to say, I think that spark of, you know, that magic of the journey and the music, and just to follow that it's been a big, huge testament to the magic and the mystery and you know what's possible.
Absolutely.
I love that, and especially coming over from club culture as well, as a music lover. Cool. So what can you tell us actually about ecstatic dance culture in New Zealand and other places that you've travelled and DJ'd, like America? Actually, we were speaking a little bit about it last night, so I just wanted to hear about your experience.
New Zealand is very different. It's a lot smaller than the culture in Europe and in America. I loved touring America. It's the mothership of Ecstatic Dance. So really I was running Ecstatic Dance in New Zealand before I toured, and usually about 25, 30 people, sometimes 50 people. It's small, it's a lot smaller. And usually the dances are an hour and a half to 2 hours. But New Zealanders love to dance for 1 hour, which is I've always found quite interesting.
Oh, really? Just
I've been
an hour?
yeah. So
Oh, wow.
I've
There you go. I didn't know that.
So, my dances are always an hour and a half because I feel like 1 hour, to create a whole wave. The culture's just very different. It's growing exponentially though, and I'm so passionate about keeping the authenticity of static dance alive. So I am passionate about, that the static dance is actually being on a proper sound system and being on proper like an hour to an hour and a half wave. So I'm very passionate about keeping that alive, and it's gotten a lot better in New Zealand when people are realizing that ecstatic dance actually has tenants, and there is a way to actually run ecstatic dance, and it is a sacred space and it's a sacred journey, and to be able to hold that space is actually an honor. So it's getting a lot better in that respect, where people are realizing that, hey, ecstatic dance is actually something that is not just thrown around. It used to be thrown around quite a lot.
Sure,
Like I'm just doing a Spotify playlist and saying it's an ecstatic dance.
Yes.
So but it's come a long way, and I'm very proud of where New Zealand is at with the ecstatic dance culture. So, but it's taken some time to build. And the US is just, compared to the US, it's just, you're looking at 200, 300 people every week. I toured San Francisco, California, and it's amazing, but they love to do, Americans don't do anything by halves, as you know, they do everything
3 hours!
So I went to
You're
Salt
dancing
Lake.
for 3 hours!
Yeah, well that's exactly right, because I went to Salt Lake City and it was an hour yoga to start. 3 hour ecstatic dance. That's DJing. That's not including the opening and closing. That's 3 hours DJing.
Wow.
And then they do like a sound journey at the end for like 40 minutes. So it's like a 5 hour affair,
Wow.
But that's what they do. They like really create, and that's on a Sunday. So they create this whole Sunday around it. And I actually got back to New Zealand. I was like, I'm doing it for 2 hours, and then it just didn't go off. Like it just we're just different. So New Zealand is like, so I was like, okay, I'll do an hour and a half. I'll meet in the middle.
Pushing you guys to an hour and a half.
I'm meeting in the middle, but it did inspire me. I was like, I think we're very much in the middle in that respect. But everywhere I've been holds their opening and closing differently, so that's always very interesting to experience how people, the ecstatic dance and the wave is all, because it is the same, because there's the categories and it needs to be.
Yes.
But the opening and closings are always very different, so I love to be inspired by that. So, and I'm very excited about the way that Cairns opens their space. So I'm excited to be a part of that.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. Just as such an art form and such nuances, and each I guess space. But I love how you mentioned the I can't remember the word there you said, but I've said over the years the quality or like quintessential ecstatic dance, as in certainly on a professional sound system with an experienced, or at least a professional, a DJ that is using DJ software that's got a certain level and quality of music. For sure, because I have seen as well over the many years exactly somebody calling it ecstatic dance when it might just be on a little boombox with a Spotify playlist. It actually literally breaks my heart, because I think, if somebody went to that and turns away from that and doesn't go back, because I think, I've done ecstatic dance, that was what was that, and didn't actually get the full effect of what it can be and what it is. That's the important thing to me too. And I think on maybe just to wrap up on that final note is that is also where, you know, Ecstatic Dance Australia, as we work together across the country to create those quality spaces and standards as well with our professional sound systems, professional DJ artists, is to uphold that new culture here, so people can experience what it is on a global sense. You know, we're at the same time, we're just growing like New Zealand. We've got small dancers around Australia, some bigger, sometimes some smaller. We're a totally fresh new culture around here, but to show, I guess, where it is coming from, the experience that some of us as artists and industry, involved in the industry for so long, is that that's what it can be.
Yeah.
I would love to see an ecstatic dance floor in Far North Queensland in the future of, you know, 100 people weekly would be awesome.
Yeah.
You know, we're in a tropical place. You know, all these things are possible. So I think, we're taking that global culture and we're serving it to our communities here in New Zealand and Australia. So it's a big gift.
Yes.
And it's a lot of work, but we're doing it,
yes.
girl.
And thank you so much for having me here. Like it's
Thank you.
It's such a treat to come to Cairns and experience. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow night.
And maybe just on a final note, actually, you mentioned yesterday you're possibly going to Europe.
Yes.
To say Dance DJ too. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, when are you going?
So April next year.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I'll be touring. I'm doing teacher training in Barcelona. So I'm taking my trainings that I do internationally, just to keep the authenticity alive,
awesome.
and including, I consider myself an alchemic DJ. So I not only do, you know, I'm not only an aesthetic dance DJ, but I actually bring alchemic and multidimensional healing into my sets and into my music and infuse it with that. So I'm very passionate about that, and taking that internationally, and teaching and playing around the world. So
so it's a delight that we have. Exactly. Oh my gosh, Ecstatic Dance Halls in Europe. Wow, take me with you. No, alas, we're here and we're dancing here, enlivening our own communities. And we will see you tomorrow night for some international vibes. And just again, thank you for taking the time to come up here and to grow our communities in these special ways to connect people with what it is.
Thank you for having me.
Yay.
Excited.
Bye everyone.